Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Running Reimagined. For those of you that don't know, my name is Coach Dylan Hopper, and on this page, we like to do a lot of tips and tricks videos as it pertains to running, and I'm super excited. This is morning show number 53, and we are going over 3 different tips today that I'm really excited about because they kind of all came in this week. They're all questions that came in this week. If you have your own questions, feel free to post them in the comments below. But I felt like they fit very different categories in terms of being a beginner tip, an intermediate tip, and kind of more of an advanced tip as well. So super excited to be able to share these tips. As you join, feel free to let me know where you're joining from. I'm going to pull it up on the computer down here so then I can see everybody who's here, everybody who's watching. Hey, Steven, how you doing this morning? Let's see here. Hope you guys had some good running weeks. Just pulling up my computer. Again, we're going to be talking 3 different tips today. These are 3 different scenarios that people had messaged the Running Reimagined page, and they kind of worked together because they were all kind of very different in terms of the level of runner. So the first one was very much a beginning runner. The next one was kind of an intermediate runner. And the next one was an advanced runner. So let me see here. I almost have it pulled up on my computer so I can see people coming in. And we're almost there. Let's see. All right. And we're good. All right. There we go. Awesome. Sweet, guys. Yeah, so if you're just joining, feel free to let me know where you're joining from. I always love to see where you're watching from. Hey, Danelle, how you doing? The 3 things that we're going over today, there's 3 kind of different levels of tips. Really excited about it because these had come in from people throughout this past week, and they very much fit the categories of like beginner, intermediate, and kind of, and more advanced runner. So let's dive right into it. Again, if you're just joining, let me know where you're watching from. Hey, Bobby, how you doing? From Arkansas. Let's see, we got Central Oregon. That's awesome, guys. If you continue, just let me know where you're coming from. I love to be able to see that. So the first question that we're going to go over, first person had messaged me, and this is very much a beginner tip. And so let's see here. So it says, I'm new to running. But it's very basic, very broad. I'm new to running, what do I do? So obviously there's a lot of different places that we could take this one. So I think first and foremost, I think the most important thing is to just have fun. So whatever you have to do to have fun, if that means you have to, listen to headphones to get out the door or, whatever it is, just have fun. That's the most important thing, is to have fun. If you need to, a couple things, you could join a club, or run with some friends. That really helps, holds you accountable, so then you're not running one day and then not running for 8 days and then running 2 more days and not running for another 2 weeks. If you join a club, they can really hold you accountable and they can really make it fun in the process. The next one would be to sign up for a race. Just sign up for a target. That gives your brain something to kind of look after or shoot for. So then, you know that all these days that you're working in, those days you get out the door that you don't feel like it, is going to help you later on towards that race. So signing up for a race, giving yourself a target, and then once you kind of do those things and you're having fun and you're enjoying it, then I would say the next thing is to really make sure that you have a good pair of running shoes. And what I would define as a good pair of running shoes is to go to, especially for newer runners, to go to like a local running store, like a true local running store, where it's a little shop that's all running. That's the only things they sell. They really know what they're doing. You go in there, they'll watch you walk around, they'll watch you run barefoot. They can tell what your foot is doing, and then they'll be able to match a shoe that's going to fit you. So, and that'll make a huge difference in later injuries. So it's really important to get in a good pair of running shoes. But again, first thing that I would say is make sure that you're having fun. The most important thing is to make sure you're having fun, and then do what you need to do to get out the door. So just if that's listening to headphones, whatever you need to tell yourself to get out the door, go ahead and do that. And don't worry about doing workouts or making it too complicated. Just worry about just getting out the door and being as consistent as you can. All right, so the second question that came in was for a more immediate, intermediate kind of runner, someone who's been running for a while and now looking to kind of formalize their training and kind of add workouts into their training. The question is when and how do I do it, sort of thing. So I felt like this was a really good scenario because I think there's a lot of runners out there who kind of fit that. There's a few that I talked to this past week who are kind of in that boat where they've just gone out for runs and they've just consistently run for the last few years, but they and they want to improve their times, but they haven't added workouts or started to really formalize that. So one thing I would ask is, what is your goal? Like, do you have a goal race, a goal time? Are you signed up already? So say you do have a goal, your goal race. Maybe it's a half marathon that's towards the fall, and that's your goal race, and you want to be able to PR and on top of that, and you want to formalize your training. It's pretty far out to just start doing it for that race. So what I would do is I would take probably this spring period, focus on maybe like 5K, 10Ks. Again, this is probably, it really depends on the individual, but I would focus more on like focusing on the shorter distance, 5K, 10Ks, 12Ks, different races that you can do in here that are going to be a little bit more speed-based, a little bit quicker, and then you can add workouts building up to those races. So what you're really going to do for yourself is you're going to kind of have two different peaks. So you're going to have one peak in the spring and then one peak in the fall. That way you can add these workouts in here. You can start to feel what workouts, how workouts will react to your body, because that makes a big difference. So you can kind of start to test the waters in the sense of what it would feel like to really formalize your training. You can see the progression of those workouts as you get closer to the race. So that's what I would probably do in terms of timing. Again, this is really hard because it's really hard if I don't know a date. But I would say that the bigger base that you can build, the more healthier you're going to be. So the bigger aerobic base that you can build, the more, not necessarily the more mileage. I don't like the way that sounds, but the more, let's see here, the more just normal runs that you can do at like an aerobic threshold, it'll build, essentially it's building up your engine, and then it's amazing how you really don't need that much to sharpen up for those quicker races. So I would build that base up, first thing, and then I would add on top of that, then I would start adding the workouts, and that could be 5 weeks out from, say, your first race. It could be 4-6 weeks out from your first race, and then maybe you have a series of 3-4 races in a row where you have 5K, 10K, 5K, 10K, or whatever it is, but kind of build a season for yourself, and then you'll kind of go through that progression. You'll really see what it feels like, and then by the time you get to the fall, you'll have kind of gone through a full sort of peak season in a sense, and you'll really understand how your body's going to react going into a little bit longer of a race. You're also going to build yourself up and be much stronger. It's really important. That's always that debate. Is it better to run a fast 5K or to complete a marathon? What's more impressive? And I think building a complete runner is the goal. And if you can build a complete runner, then you're going to be healthy long term. So that would be focusing on the shorter distances, building up to the longer distances, and not just jumping straight into those longer distances. So that's probably what I would say for that runner. Going into the third tip, which is the more advanced kind of runner, the more advanced question that I got this week, which was adding strength work. This person wanted to add strength work to their training. They have kind of everything formalized, but they want to add strength work, which I think is a great idea. I think it's something that should be added as a component in there, because the stronger you can be throughout your core, the more efficient and the stronger you're going to be at the end of races. So if you look at, like, say mile 25 or 24 of a marathon, if you just went to that mile marker, the number of runners that, like, that's one the worst period probably throughout a marathon. Obviously you can hit, like mile 18, 19, 20, and you can start to tank, but then you really look at them after those few miles and you'll really see how they trained, because the runners that are collapsed down and just kind of like, trudging through it, those ones probably didn't do the strength work. But then you'll see those runners, and if you do this, you go to a marathon and watch this, you'll see those runners who are up and tall and strong and, continuing on their pace to the end of the marathon. Those are probably the runners who actually did their strength work. So strength work can make a huge difference. This person wanted to add it twice a week. They kind of gave me what their weekly training looks like already. So looking at it, what I was able to kind of look at was they had a Tuesday workout. So I would add the first day of strength work after the Tuesday workout, and it doesn't really... The studies show that it doesn't really make a huge difference whether you do it right afterwards or if you do your your Tuesday workout, your interval work, tempos, whatever that workout is in the morning, and then you do your strength work at night. There really isn't too much benefit either way, but you're putting your body up in that fight or flight mode, and it's going to take you about 48 hours to come down from it. So I would add that, and again, feel how feel your body as you go through the workout. If you feel like you might have an injury or something coming, then I would definitely not do the strength work that day. But, if you're feeling good, I would add that strength work right after, or maybe a few hours after your workout day. I think that would be the first day I would do it. The second day, looking at his schedule, would be kind of, he has a Thursday, which is kind of an intermediate type long run. I would add it somewhere in that day as well. So he would have a Tuesday, Thursday strength workout. He has a Sunday long run, and we would leave the Sunday long run alone. It's a real hard run on your body, whether you're running an easy pace or a harder pace. So I would leave that Sunday long run alone, and I would add the strength work to the Tuesday and to the Thursday. So I hope that helped you guys. I was really excited to be able to get these tips come in because I felt like it really fit kind of every category. So if you found value out of this, please hit the like button. If you know somebody else who would benefit from this, or your running club who would benefit from this, please share it with them. It's our goal to help as many people as possible, and I hope you guys have a heck of a weekend. Take care, guys.